I was the girl with a $3,800 crypto portfolio that I checked every 17 minutes while pretending to work, convinced I was a financial genius because a dog with a Japanese name made me 47% returns in 3 days. And then I watched it evaporate faster than my dignity after sending that 2 a.m. text to my ex. If crypto were a Tinder date, it would be the guy who calls himself a serial entrepreneur but really just sells herbal supplements out of his 2012 Honda Civic with a missing bumper. He promises you the moon, talks endlessly about his vision, and somehow convinces you to Venmo him $200 for a business opportunity before you realize he's blocked you on everything. Here's what I'm going to prove to you in the next 20 minutes. Cryptocurrency isn't the future of money. It's not a revolution against the banks, and it's definitely not your ticket out of the 9-to-5 grind. Cryptocurrency is the single most sophisticated, well-marketed, and devastatingly effective wealth transfer mechanism ever created, designed specifically to move money from people who hope to people who already have. And the really sick part? The people running this show want you to think I'm the idiot for not understanding the technology. They want you to believe that if you just hodl long enough, if you just diamond hands your way through the crashes, you'll emerge on the other side a millionaire. But I lived through the collapses. I watched friends lose down payments, retirement accounts, and their mental health chasing the next 100x coin. I sat across from a 24-year-old who'd borrowed $40,000 against his parents' house to buy an NFT of a cartoon monkey that now sells for $12 on a good day. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how the crypto machine operates, who profits, who pays, and why 52% of all cryptocurrencies ever created have already gone to absolute zero. And look, I need you to understand something before we go further. I'm not some boomer banker who doesn't get it. I was the girl hosting crypto nights in my apartment. I had the ledger wallet. I understood proof of stake versus proof of work. I could explain gas fees to my confused mother. My husband literally had to stage an intervention when I tried to convince him we should put our wedding savings into something called SafeMoon. I fell for it. Hard. And that's exactly why you should trust me, because I got burned, I crawled out, and now I can see the machinery for exactly what it is. Let's rewind to 2009. A mysterious figure, or group, named Satoshi Nakamoto mines the first Bitcoin block. The message hidden inside? The Times/03/Jan 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. The promise was beautiful. Decentralized money, no middlemen, no banks taking 30% of your wire transfer, no governments printing infinite currency and stealing your purchasing power, just pure peer-to-peer electronic cash controlled by mathematics instead of politicians. It was the digital middle finger to the entire financial system, and for the first few years it actually felt like that. You had cypherpunks and libertarians and tech idealists building something genuinely new. Bitcoin transactions were cheap, the community was small, the vibes were almost pure. But here's what they don't tell you about utopian promises. Utopias don't stay utopian once money shows up. Fast forward to today. Bitcoin has been around for 16 years. 16 years! That's long enough for a baby to grow up and get a driver's license. And after 16 years, how many businesses actually accept Bitcoin as a payment method? There are approximately 350 million businesses operating worldwide. Rough estimate. And you know how many accept Bitcoin directly? 18,000. That's not a currency, that's a collector's item. That's the digital equivalent of Beanie Babies with a blockchain wrapper. And here's the really embarrassing part. Most of those 18,000 businesses don't even keep the Bitcoin. They use payment processors like BitPay that instantly convert it back to dollars the second the transaction completes. So the coffee shop isn't accepting Bitcoin because they believe in the revolution. They're accepting it because some payment company paid them to install a tablet, and now they're too lazy to remove it. Let me explain why Bitcoin will never be real currency in 3 bullet points. Number 1, volatility. Bitcoin's annual volatility averages 60%. The S&P 500, 15%. No business can price their products when the payment method might drop 20% while you're pouring the latte. Number 2, transaction fees. During peak periods, sending Bitcoin can cost $50 per transaction. Imagine paying $50 to buy a sandwich. And number 3, speed. Bitcoin processes about 7 transactions per second. Visa does 24,000. It would take Bitcoin approximately 47 years to process the same number of transactions Visa handles in a single day. So what is Bitcoin actually used for? Speculation. Pure, unadulterated, casino-grade speculation. It's not currency. It's not a store of value like gold, because gold has 5,000 years of cultural consensus and actual industrial applications. Bitcoin has number-go-up technology. And speaking of number-go-up, let me take you on a tour of the crypto graveyard. It's a beautiful place, very peaceful, lots of headstones with dog logos on them. CoinGecko, which is basically the IMDb of crypto, tracked over 7 million crypto listings since 2021. 7 million different coins, 7 million different projects promising to revolutionize finance, disrupt industries, and make you rich. 3.7 million of those coins have stopped trading. That's 52%, more than half, dead, gone, wiped out. But here's the thing about a dead crypto coin. It's not like a bankrupt company. When a company fails, there are usually assets, buildings, inventory, intellectual property, something you can sell to get pennies back. When a crypto project fails, you get absolutely nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. The Discord server goes silent, the Twitter account stops posting, the founders pivot to a new project, and your investment? It's just gone, deleted, erased from existence like it never happened. And this isn't random market failure. This is by design. Let me show you how the casino actually works. Every crypto project has something called insiders. Founders, early investors, venture capital firms, people who get tokens before you do, at prices you'll never see. They buy in at fractions of a penny. Then they spend months, sometimes years, marketing the project to people like you. They pay influencers, they buy billboards, they sponsor podcasts, they create the FOMO. And then when the price has been pumped high enough, when enough retail money has poured in, they sell. This isn't illegal in crypto like it would be in stocks. In stocks, this is called insider trading, and you go to federal prison for it. In crypto, it's called taking profits, and everyone claps. Let's talk FTX, because FTX wasn't some sketchy operation run by anonymous internet trolls. FTX was the establishment. Super Bowl ads, Larry David, Tom Brady, stadium naming rights, billions from Sequoia Capital, BlackRock, and the most sophisticated investors on the planet. Here's what happened at FTX. Simplified. FTX took customer money. They didn't store it safely like a real exchange would. They moved it to a separate company called Alameda Research. Alameda lost the money making bad trades. When customers tried to withdraw, the money was gone. The new CEO brought in to clean up the mess, John Ray, the same guy who handled Enron bankruptcy, said, and I quote, "Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls. Never in his career. And this is a man who cleaned up Enron." FTX didn't lose customer money because of a hack. They lost it because they stole it, plain and simple. And the entire crypto establishment, the influencers, the venture capitalists, the thought leaders, had spent years telling everyone that FTX was the safest, most trusted name in the space. Okay, so maybe you're smarter than the FTX victims. Maybe you stick to safe crypto, stablecoins, the ones pegged to the dollar. What could go wrong? Terra USD was supposed to be the perfect stablecoin, algorithmically stabilized, backed by math instead of messy human institutions. It was going to revolutionize payments. Here's how it worked. Terra was the stablecoin, always supposed to be $1. Luma was the sister token that absorbed volatility. When Terra dropped below $1, the system would create new Luna to buy Terra and push it back up. When Terra went above $1, it would burn Luna to bring it down. Clever, right? Except in May 2022, Terra started dropping, and the system created more Luna to catch it. And then the feedback loop kicked in. More Luna created equals Luna price drops. Luna price drops equals people panic sell Terra. Terra drops more equals the system creates even more Luna. Repeat until dead. In 1 week, $45 billion of investor money vanished, gone, not lost in value, vanished. People who had their life's savings in Terra USD watched it become worth $0, then 1 cent, then 0. And here's the part that makes me sick. The founder, Do Kwon, spent months before the crash acting arrogant, mocking people who questioned the system, calling them poor and uneducated. He's now under criminal indictment in multiple countries. And then there are meme coins. Oh, the meme coins. Meme coins are crypto's gift to people who looked at regular gambling and thought, you know what this needs? Even less research and even more clowns. In 2021, a coin called Shiba Inu went up multiple million%. People turned $100 into millions. On paper, the ones who sold actually got rich. The ones who held? Well, every meme coin pump follows the exact same pattern. Insiders buy early, influencers promote, retail FOMO feeds in, insiders sell.
Price crashes, retail holds bags. And here's the cruelest part. The people promoting these coins know exactly what they're doing. They're not excited about the project. There is no project. It's a JPEG of a frog. They're getting paid, directly or indirectly, to get you to buy so they can sell. Okay, here's where I'm going to lose some of you. Here's the take that gets me death threats in the comments. Blockchain technology itself is interesting. Distributed ledgers have real applications, supply chain tracking, digital identity, maybe even some forms of settlement. But here's the thing, you don't need a tradable token for any of that. Every single useful blockchain application could exist without a cryptocurrency attached. The token is not the technology. The token is the casino chip. And the reason every blockchain project has a token is simple. Tokens make founders rich. Tokens let you raise money from the public without the pesky regulations that come with selling actual securities. Tokens let you create artificial scarcity and pump your own bags. If blockchain was just technology, it would be adopted quietly by corporations and governments. No Lambos, no moon memes, no 100x returns, just enterprise software. And that doesn't sell. Here's what really keeps people trapped in crypto, and it's darker than you think. Once you've lost money in crypto, it becomes almost impossible to admit you were wrong, because admitting you were wrong means the money is really gone. It means you were the sucker. It means all those nights checking charts, all those arguments with skeptical friends, all that "I understand something you don't" superiority, it was all for nothing. So instead, you double down, you diamond hands, you convince yourself the crash is a sale, you join Telegram groups where everyone agrees the real believers will be rewarded. And the industry knows this, they count on it. Every crash is marketed as a buying opportunity, every failed project is pivoting, every scam is "we learned valuable lessons." So how do you actually win? By not playing. I know that sounds boring. I know it doesn't get 10 million views on YouTube. But here's the truth the crypto influencers will never tell you. The people getting rich in crypto are founders creating tokens, early investors dumping on retail, exchanges collecting fees on every transaction, influencers getting paid to promote, and scammers running obvious fraud. The people getting poor in crypto are everyone else. You want to build wealth? Buy actual assets, companies that produce things, real estate that generates rent, bonds that pay interest. Hell, even a high-yield savings account paying 4% is beating half the crypto market after you account for the 52% that go to zero. Before I reveal the most important lesson, the one that finally broke the spell for me and turned me from a crypto true believer into someone who can spot a scam from a mile away, let me show you one more thing. The graveyard of people who thought they were different, the stories that keep me up at night. There was the nurse in Ohio who put $60,000, her entire retirement savings, into a guaranteed crypto arbitrage bot. The bot was a front. The money went to a guy in Thailand who now runs a YouTube channel from a beach. There was the college kid who borrowed $25,000 in student loans to buy an NFT collection. The founders rugged 3 weeks later. He dropped out of school. His parents found out when the debt collectors called. There was the couple in Florida who sold their house to buy Bitcoin and $60,000, convinced it was going to $200,000 by Christmas. It's at $40,000 as I film this. They're living with her parents. And here's what kills me. Every single one of these people was told they were early. They were told they were smart. They were told the haters just didn't understand. The influencers who convinced them? They're still making videos, still selling courses, still promoting the next big thing, still driving Lamborghinis bought with affiliate commissions from exchanges. So here's my final verdict on cryptocurrency. It's not the future of money. It's a digital mirage that disappears the second you reach for it. It's not a revolution against the banks. It's a casino where the house owns the dice, the tables, and the parking lot. It's not an investment. It's speculation dressed up in mathematical jargon to make gamblers feel like intellectuals. And the brilliant part? The people running it have convinced millions that anyone who points out the obvious is just too old, too stupid, or too brainwashed by the system to understand. Albert Einstein supposedly said compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. You know what he didn't call a wonder? Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, SafeMoon, Pepe. Warren Buffett called Bitcoin rat poison squared. Jamie Dimon called it a pet rock. Peter Schiff said, when you peel the onion and get to what's really there, there's nothing there. These aren't stupid people. They're not boomers who don't get it. They're people who've spent decades analyzing what actually creates value. And they're telling you as clearly as they can that crypto creates nothing. Here's what we covered today. The promise of crypto was a lie from the start. Not intentionally, maybe, but the outcome is the same. 52% of all cryptocurrencies ever created have gone to zero. FTX stole billions in plain sight while the entire industry called them trustworthy. Terra USD proved that stable coins aren't stable. Meme coins are just gambling with extra steps, and the machinery is designed to transfer wealth from hopeful retail investors to insiders who know exactly when to sell. If this video helped you see the matrix, if it saved you from one bad investment, one FOMO purchase, one late night convincing yourself the crash is a sale, hit that like button and subscribe.